The year is 636 AD. The superpower of the ancient world, the Roman Empire, has had enough. Emperor Heraclius has assembled a massive army, historians estimate over 100,000 men, to crush the rising Muslim armies in the Levant once and for all. Against them stands a ragtag force of barely 24,000 men. They are outnumbered 4 to 1. They have no heavy armor. They have no siege engines. Defeat seems certain, but they have something the Romans do not. They have a general who has never known the taste of defeat. A man who will turn this dusty plain into a masterclass of military strategy. His name is Khalid ibn al-Walid. The battlefield is the plain of Yarmouk, bordered by steep ravines and a rushing river. It is a natural trap. If you are pushed back, there is nowhere to run. The Rome commanders are confident. Their plan is simple. Use their sheer weight of numbers to crush the Muslim center. They believe that sheer mass will break the lighter Muslim forces. Khalid knows he cannot win a slugfest. If his army stands still, they die. He realizes that the Muslim army, usually divided under different commanders, must act as one. In a humble but crucial move, the other commanders cede control to him. Khalid immediately reorganizes the army. He creates something revolutionary, the Mobile Guard. This is where Khalid earns his title as a tactical genius. He holds back a purely mounted reserve of his best cavalry, about 4,000 men. For the first 4 days, the battle is a nightmare. The Roman heavy infantry smashes into the Muslim lines like a hammer. Again and again, the Muslim lines buckle and break. They are pushed back to their very camp tents. The women in the camp actually have to charge out with tent poles to shame the men into returning to the fight. But every time a section of the line is about to collapse, Khalid and his mobile guard appear out of the dust. They strike the Roman flanks, stop the breakthrough, and vanish, only to reappear on the other side of the battlefield moments later. For days, Khalid is playing a high-stakes game of whack-a-mole, keeping his army alive by sheer speed and will. By day 6, the Romans are exhausted. Their morale is cracking. They expected a quick victory, not a week of brutal attrition. Khalid senses the shift. It is time to go on the offensive. He launches a daring maneuver. He takes his massed cavalry and rides wide, completely encircling the Roman left flank. Simultaneously, he captures the only bridge across the ravine, the Rome's only escape route. The trap snaps shut. The Roman cavalry, separated from their infantry, flees the field. The massive Roman infantry is now surrounded, pressed against the steep cliffs of the ravine, with Khalid's cavalry at their backs and the Muslim infantry at their front. Panic ensues. The Romans' superior numbers become a disadvantage as they crush each other while trying to escape. The victory is absolute. The Battle of Yarmouk didn't just win a war. It changed the course of history. It opened the gate to Syria, and eventually the rest of the Middle East. Khalid ibn al-Walid would be relieved of command shortly after, not for failure, but because the Caliph Umar feared the people trusted Khalid more than God. He died a few years later in his bed, heartbroken that he did not die in battle. But on the plains of Yarmouk, he proved why he remains one of the few undefeated generals in human history. The sword of Allah had struck his greatest blow. But on the plains of Yarmouk, he proved why he remains one of the few undefeated generals in human history. The sword of Allah had struck his greatest blow. Subscribe for the next episode.